Bonjour and hello, and welcome to Tu manges la chimie, c'est cuisine, you eat chemistry cooking. And today's guest is going to be Megara and Hercules. Now let's learn about chemistry and cooking. Now let's talk about 3 types of heating and what they do for cooking. First off is radiation. With radiation, it is shown in this cake pan with the friction of sweetening molecules to cook from the inside out. And lastly, convection, where you get to a pot to a certain temperature that heat can transfer through liquids. And does the same thing through air vents in your microwaves to circulate the air. And that can help get smoky air out or to cool down your food. There is a grease fire. And here we're going to talk about the do's and don'ts when handling a kitchen fire and what is combustion and fire safety. What is grease fire then? Well, a substance that is burning, making a chemical change that is taking place with the fire that is happening right now. Also, the key thing to a combustion reaction is the reaction in the product. Also, there are many types of gas fires, like camp grills and gas stoves. Then what are the do's and don'ts then? Thanks for reminding me. First, the do's. When handling a grease fire, you have to remember that you have a 30-second to a minute time span to stop the fire. Okay, so how do you put it out? Well, there are many ways. One is you put a lid on the pan and never take it off, or else it will be worse. Then immediately call 911. Then what if you don't have a lid nearby? And if you don't have a fire extinguisher then? Then use baking soda, and it'll immediately put it out. Don'ts. Basically, it's the opposite of what you do. So be safe. Remember to have fun when cooking. Now let's talk about cooking fuels and circuits. Then what are the characteristics of fuel then? Good question, Hercules. Well, the common characteristics in fuel is compound, may have carbon and hydrogen, or that can have alcohol. The amount of energy in the fuel rest has to do how much the fuel is burned. With this reaction, the combustion of the changing of temperatures of the water and the conduction of the energy of each fuel. What are the difference in electricity stoves and gas stoves? For a gas stove, it's a gas product, and that can give you ease for changing temperatures instantly from high to low. Also, it's one of the only stove techniques that can provide easy control to an open flame that can help you get your food perfectly cooked with ease. This is a brief segment on boiling water, and the basics are simple. First, when the temperature is boiling point is at 212 Celsius and 100 Fahrenheit. 2. When this is happening, it creates 3 types of phases in water. First is where the steam gas molecules are all over the place, creating heat waves, and is the hottest point in boiling water. The middle reaction is both gas and liquid. The molecules aren't fast than the gas molecules. The bottom has less energy than others combined. This is due to happening because it's at the rising point in the water, where it is created by the burner. Now you know. Hi, Megara. Hi. What do you think about freezing water? I don't know. Snow? Ice? Why? Well, it's not exactly that. Well, then what is freezing water then? Well, when freezing, water turns to solid, not liquid, and the energy is slowing down faster than most prompts in the form of many small crystals. And slowing freezing prompts a large crystal. Then the importance of freezing foods. Then what are the phases of freezing water then? Well, with freezing water, it's the reverse phase of boiling water, where the cold area is the most energy of molecules. Energy of colder energy has less energy, is frozen. This is during a flutation temperature. When this happens, it gives a substance of the melting point, giving a required energy forming of a liquid to a solid phase. Hi, and welcome back to Tu Lange La Chimie is la Cuisine. I believe this can be one of my favorite programs to teach you all. Well, it's good to understand the different types of cookware and materials that can help you on your cooking. So you could be self-advocated when shopping, and also it's fun to know the pros and cons, what they are used for. Then what type of cookware are there? Good question. There are many types of cookware that are out there. First, we're going to talk a few about them. The first list is cast iron. The safety for pros is safety for stovetops, broilers, grills, and direct fires. What they are good for very reasons of different type of ways of producing heat. It's very well constructed, and that can cook on mostly anywhere that has heat. The problem with cast iron is hard to take care of and doesn't heat evenly, and it takes a lot of effort to have it in good working conditions. With stainless steel, what they are good for is stove, ovens, broilers, and all the other basics. They're durable, less expensive than other options. They can handle hot areas for cooking. The cons is they can chip and they have poor heat conduction. Then where does heating come within this? Well, with heat that has stove tops is the center of the hottest, and the out part of the pan is the coolest, with energy that it needs to conduct with different type of degrees and temperature. Also, the amount of kinetic energy stored in the metals for conduction that is a heating capacity in both metals that have it. Salut, Nadimen viewers. Now it's time for Tu Lange La Chimie La Cuisine, and as we're going to learn about proteins in foods and their reactions. Then what are proteins then? Well, we have proteins in us, and one of the most important process is proteins in proteins is protein deterioration. Then what does that do then? Protein deterioration is breaking of protein structures, and with breaking of the format of extinct conditions to the changing of the structure and the ways they react. And if we don't have that, then the structures didn't change. Well then, the structures that won't change won't be forming of delicious foods, and that will never be possible to create. Protein is necessary for us to live, and the structures that have protein is the key for them to work in many ways that needs to be for cooking foods. Well, that's it for this video. Au revoir. Au revoir, amis amis. The end.